Okay, so Geometry, Module 1, Lesson 1, page 12. Explain 4, finding midpoints on the coordinate plane. So you can use the midpoint formula to find the midpoint of a segment on a coordinate plane. So what is our midpoint formula? That is our midpoint formula. So what you'll notice here, the way to kind of think about it is something in the middle, midpoint, is we're going to be using the average technique. And if you average something, you add everything up and divide by how many there are. Well, if we're averaging between 2 points, then we're going to divide by 2. So if we want to find the middle of our x coordinates, we're going to find the average, which is add them up and divide by how many there are, aka 2. And if we want to find the average or middle of our y's, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add up our y's, which there are 2 of them, and thus divide by 2. So all you're doing is find the average of your x points and the average of your y's, and together that gives you the coordinate of your midpoint. Okay. So let's look this through. So show that each statement is true. If PQ has endpoints, P and Q, then the midpoint, M, of PQ lies in quadrant 3. So use the midpoint formula to find the midpoint of PQ by substituting in. And so again, you want to make sure you do x1, y1, x2, y2, the x and y of your second point, the x and y of your first point. Substitute them in. The one thing nice about this is since it's addition, it doesn't truly matter if you have an x2 and an x1 or vice versa, since it's addition. Divide and get your answers. So substitute the coordinates, then simplify. So M lies in quadrant 3 since x and y quadrants are both negative. So that one is true. So if RS has endpoints, R and S, let's get this up, then the midpoint M of RS lies on the y-axis. So again, we're going to use the midpoint formula, identifying your x1 and your y1, your x2 and your y2, substitute them into your formula, and simplify. This gives you your x, this gives you your y, and lies on the y-axis because the fact that x is 0. Alright, your turn. So show that each statement is true. If AB has endpoints A and B, then the midpoint is at the origin. So you have to think about what does the ordered pair have to be in order to be at the origin. And 12. If JK has endpoints J and K, then the midpoint M of JK lies in quadrant 4. So you have to think about what are the parameters about coordinate points that are in quadrant 4. So identify your x1, y1, x2, y2, substitute them into your equation, simplify, and get your coordinate, and answer the question. Pause the video if you need to. Alright, let's go ahead and check your answers. So it is, since both of them are at 0, 0, and point M does lie in quadrant 4 since the x is positive but the y is negative. Alright, I hope this helped. formula is not needed to find the distance between 2 points that lie on a horizontal line or a vertical line. So why do you not need to do the distance formula if the line is horizontal or vertical? Think about that and and write down your answers. Pause the video if need be. Otherwise, let's check possible answer. Okay. Number 14. When you use the distance formula, does the order in which you subtract the x and y coordinates matter? Explain. Pause the video if need be. Otherwise, we're going to continue on. Remember, you don't have to copy it word for word. And no, it does not matter. And the reason why is because of the square component. Because once you square it, it eliminates the 0. The difference between the x2 and the x1 is the same. It's just usually if you put one before the other, you might end up with a positive version or a negative version. But once you square it, it doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative, they'll both come out being positive. Okay. When you use the midpoint formula, can you take either point as x1, y1, or x2, y2, y or y not? Okay, so pause the video. Alright, so welcome back. So, yes. Can you take either point? Yes, it doesn't matter. Since addition, and we're not squaring, but we are doing addition, so with addition it doesn't make a difference. Alright, essential question check-in. Move up. What is the difference between finding the length of a segment that is drawn on a sheet of blank paper and a segment that is drawn on coordinate plane? So take a moment, pause the video, write down what you think would be the answer, and it's okay if it's not exactly worded the same. It's just your chance to reflect on the main concepts. Okay. Right, so your possible answer is just that. You can use a ruler to find the length of a segment drawn on a sheet of blank paper, and you can use the distance formula to find the length of a segment on a coordinate plane. Alright, hope this helped.